Tonight on OC News, a breaking news story out of Garden Grove where a possible car bomb was discovered outside of a 7-Eleven.
Also, a look into President Trump's State of the Union address held last night.
And later, box office hits and a Hollywood star claiming her spot on the Walk of Fame. All this and more when OC News starts right now. Thanks for joining us at OC News. I'm Erica Guerra.
And I'm Janelle Pedroza. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton. We start with breaking news. An area in Garden Grove is now open after being closed for most of the day because of two possible explosive devices. Police have been on the scene around Euclid and Trask since 11 this morning after receiving a call about a suspicious package inside a car parked near 7-Eleven. Officials say a man walked inside the convenience store and asked if any cameras were surveying the lot, later saying he wanted to capture what was about to take place. Found on the scene was a fertilizer tank extending outside a white Ford Mustang. Police say the man also dropped another suspicious package near Euclid Street and Century Boulevard. He then proceeded to make a 911 call to report a car on fire. Police verified there was no fire, and the suspect is now in custody. Both of the devices have been rendered safe.
If you're in a rush to class, keep in mind the construction on campus. Juliana Montez is out. We're live to cover how it has affected students.
I'm here at the Quad area, which is one of the main construction zones going on here on campus. Construction started last fall, where we can expect to see some major changes starting to happen. Here they plan to add some outdoor furniture for students to have some more study spaces. They're also planning to add on some seating areas outside of the Starbucks at the Pollock Library and even some LED lighting along pathways in these areas. Let's see how students are reacting to these major constructions going on at the heart of campus.
Before the construction, I would arrive like 2 minutes before class, but now because of the construction, sometimes I can be late. And it makes me, sometimes if I want to go the other way, you got to go in the library and go around and then go the other way.
I feel like it's like pretty minimal around here. Like I don't think there's like a lot, but like over there in what is that, the Quad? I guess it's a little harder to get to classes, but like, I mean, to update it, that's fine. Like it doesn't really matter. Like it's cool with me.
I mean, I don't really spend a lot of time on this part of campus, but when I do, I don't really want to go around construction and stuff, so it's sort of inconvenienced me, especially that I'm on a penny board all the time, so now I have to, actually walk, which is a little bit lazy, but, and unfortunately we won't be able to get to see it because we're graduating soon.
I feel like it's made my walking to classes a bit harder and it takes more time. Like, instead of going on the side of the library and I have to go like around the whole construction zone.
Yeah, it has a little bit just because like it gets compacted like around that area and I have to go from here to over there and it's just like time consuming just to try to maneuver all these people.
It's convenient to do construction, but it took a long time to do it, but it's just time consuming.
Yeah, if they can do it in a faster pace, that would be better.
It seems that many students have been majorly inconvenienced by the construction going on, but they're still looking forward to the final results. So hang in there, Titans. We can expect to see the completion of construction by the end of this year in December. I'm Juliana Montez with OC News. Back to you ladies in the studio.
A 30-year-old Santa Ana school district worker is behind bars tonight. He allegedly tried to lure teenage girls into his car, enticing them with marijuana. Julio Torres was arrested by the Garden Grove police this morning. Police say he attempted to lure two girls into his car on January 25th. The girls declined and fled the location. They were able to take photos of Torres' white Ford Explorer and show Ed to police. It's chilly out there, but the view of mountains covered in snow is gorgeous. We turn now to Megan Tate, who has the very latest in weather. Megan, it's going to be cold for a few days, right?
Thanks, Erica. As I was driving to Fullerton today, I couldn't help but notice the snow covering the mountains. And it was a beautiful sight to see after the rainy and cloudy few days that we've had. Now, these winter storms have been hitting parts of Northern California as well, bringing about a rare snowfall to the San Francisco area. Now, this video shows the snow-capped mountaintops of East Bay, Mission Peak, Castro Valley, and North Bay as well. These snowy peaks show the Bay Area's first significant snowfall in years. Now let's take a look at the weather here in Southern California. Now today we reach a high of 58 degrees and a low of 38 degrees. The winds on average are about 8 miles per hour with a humidity of about 25%. The sun rose this morning at 6:44 and will set tonight at 5:27. Moving on to the 5-day forecast, we finally get to see some of that Southern California sunshine. Now on Thursday and Friday, we had a high of about 63 degrees with a low of 40 on Thursday and 45 on Friday. It will be partly cloudy on Saturday with a high of 61 and a low of 44. But don't worry, we get to see some more sun on Sunday with a high of 59 and a low of 42. Monday will be partly cloudy with a high of 60 and a low of 44 degrees. Now don't let that sunshine fool you because as you can see, we are still facing some pretty chilly temperatures, especially in the evening time. So if you're going outside, make sure to bundle up and stay warm. Back to Erica and Janelle at the desk.
Be sure to stick around for a recap of the State of the Union address given by President Trump last night.
We also have a look ahead to the Cal State Fullerton men's basketball game tonight.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason. Because it means love and devotion for one's country. Love. But what really makes up this country of ours? What is it we love? It's the people. Almost half the country belongs to minority groups. People who are lesbian, African American, and bi, and transgender, and Native American, and proud of it. After all, what's more American than freedom to celebrate the things that make us, us? This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, disability, sexuality, race, religion, and any other labels. Because the second any of us judge people based on those labels, we're not really being patriotic, are we? Because love has no labels.
There were many things to take away from the State of the Union speech. And one thing is for certain, the president made it clear the wall will be built. We are going to send it over to James Lassier, expanding more on the speech.
Thanks, Erica. And yes, you're right. President Trump stood his ground and was very firm that the proposed wall across the southern border will be built. Trump says that if there is no significant compromise, there could be another government shutdown proceeding. Many Democratic leaders were critical regarding Trump's address, expressing that his call for unity contradicts his divisive stance.
President Donald Trump calling for unity and compromise last night.
We must go forward together. We must keep America first in our hearts.
Interesting speech. Today, Democratic leaders say they don't believe the president met that goal.
You can't talk about comity and working together and give a speech that is so divisive. That just doesn't fly.
Donald Trump has left the building, and now we can get back to doing the business of fighting for the people.
The 82-minute State of the Union address laying out the president's agenda, including a pitch for an immigration deal that says he must have a border wall.
Simply put, walls work and walls save lives.
If Congress doesn't reach a deal by next Friday or the president doesn't declare a national emergency, the government could shut down for the second time this year.
Congress has 10 days left to pass a bill that will fund our government, protect our homeland, and secure our very dangerous southern border.
On Capitol Hill, I'm Kristen Holmes reporting.
Trump touched on other several topics, such as announcing he will participate in a 2-day summit with Vietnam with Kim Jong-un and a new campaign to put the end to the AIDS epidemics by the year 2030. Also in attendance was Miriam Tellez, a Cal State Fullerton senior who is a guest of Democratic Representative Gil Cisneros. Tellez is a DACA recipient and studies sociology. I'm James Lassere for OC News. Back to Erica and Janelli at the desk.
With a lot of talk with the NBA trade deadline around the corner, we send it over to Kush Barak with today's sports.
Thank you, Erica. There's been a lot of madness happening regarding our SoCal NBA teams. It was a historic night for LeBron James, both good and bad. The good news is that LeBron when he made this deep three-pointer, it allowed him to join an elite club as the 5th and youngest player in NBA history to score 32,000 career points. The bad news is that the Lakers and LeBron suffered his worst loss in his 16-year NBA career. The Lakers took on the Pacers in Indiana and lost the game by 42 points. This loss puts the Lakers 2.5 games back for the last spot in the playoff picture. That last spot is being held by the LA Clippers. Speaking of the Clippers, they took on the Charlotte Hornets on the road last night. The Clippers came back from a 20-point deficit in the second half as a setup for a great ending to the game. With just under 30 seconds left in the game, the Hornets' Marvin Williams gets fouled after the offensive rebound and would make both free throws. That would set up the ensuing play of Tobias Harris comes down the court and connect on what would be the game-winning shot to help the Clippers beat the Hornets 117 to 115. Tobias Harris would end as a scoring leader, dropping 34 points. Just hours after the game, the Clippers shocked the NBA world by trading their perennial all-star Tobias Harris to the Philadelphia 76ers. Along with Harris, they sent big man Boban Marjanovic and forward Mike Scott. In return, the Clippers received rookie guard Landry Shamet, forward Wilson Chandler, and big man Mike Muscala, along with 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. Now moving on to NCAA basketball, Cal State Fullerton will take on UC Irvine tonight. This game is a rematch of last year's Big West Tournament Championship game where the Titans edged out the Anteaters. Both teams are coming into the game riding a high on their 5-game winning streaks. Fullerton has 2 of the top 5 leading scorers in the Big West Conference in Kyle Allman Jr. and Khalil Ahmad. Both players were named to the Big West preseason team. The game will be aired on ESPN3 with tip-off at 7 p.m. Missing the MLB a little bit? Don't worry, because tomorrow Cal State Fullerton's softball team is kicking off their season as they host the Titan Classic. The team is riding into the season on fire as they have won the Big West Conference 3 years in a row now, helping them make the 28th NCAA regional appearance. Last season, the Titans will play tomorrow against Idaho State tomorrow at 6 p.m. and will have 3 more games before finishing the Classic against Pacific on Sunday at 11 a.m. The team lost 10 players to graduation, but still have last year's returning all Big West recipients, R.A. Williams, Zoe Richard, Deshae Hill, Julia Valenzuela, Sophie Frost, and Trish Parks returning to the team. That's all I have for today's sports. Now back to the ladies at the desk.
Next up, a look into the ongoing celebration of the Chinese Lunar Year.
And this year, there will be a big change at the Oscars. Stay tuned to find out what it is.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Information on hot water heating.
No. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out the words.
World music, playing track now.
No.
Let me try. Our daughter gets confused about which details in a story are important.
Which paper towels are most absorbent? What? Here are 5 product reviews.
Why are you not getting me?
See, I told you.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
The Chinese New Year celebration continues in Orange County in honor of the pig. The tradition has been carried over 1,000 years, beginning at the mark of the Lunar Year, also known as the Spring Festival in China. It is long established to dress in traditional bright Chinese clothing. This time of the year is to give respect to your ancestors and to give money as gifts in red envelopes. The famous jaw-breaking performances lead with Golden Dragon parades. Several countries such as Argentina and Albania kicked off the new lunar year with Chinese music and graceful traditional dances and lit up the skies with dazzling fireworks. The 2019 new lunar year is a time to spend with family and friends. In modern China, it is custom to take time off in honor of this traditional holiday to bring good fortune into the new year. The New Year Festival began February 5th and will continue until February 19th.
On today's entertainment news, find out what movie will be coming out this weekend, which actress got engaged, and which singer received their very own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Mary Ledesma has everything on entertainment.
We will get to the Hollywood Walk of Fame in a minute, but first, the Lego Movie 2, the second part, will be hitting the box office this weekend. Let's check it out. 5 years ago, many people thought a movie about Legos was kid stuff. Maybe, but the resulting franchise has made nearly $1 billion worldwide. Toy Box heroes Hammett and Lucy are back in the Lego Movie 2, the second part. The sequel brings back writer-producers Phil Lord and Christopher Miller.
That we were really proud of, but you never know if audiences are going to connect to it, and the way that they did was beyond our wildest imagination.
In other news, it's official. This year's Academy Awards telecast will not have a host. ABC, which will broadcast the 2019 Oscars later this month, announced Tuesday the ceremony will be hostless. As you may recall, actor and comedian Kevin Hart was revealed to be the host back in December, only to step down due to criticism over his past homophobic comments. It's the first time an Oscar telecast has been without a host in 30 years. And let's go ahead and raise our glass to Pink. The singer and entertainer has been honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The Hollywood Chamber of Commerce unveiled the star Tuesday morning. Comedian Ellen DeGeneres and actress Carrie Kennedy Silver attended the presentation to the musician. Pink, whose real name is Alicia Moore, posed with her star with her family before signing autographs for nearby fans. One of Hollywood's biggest actresses is getting ready to take a trip down the aisle. Jennifer Lawrence is engaged to Cook Maroney. A rep for Lawrence confirmed the news to USA Today on Tuesday. The Grammys are this weekend, but one singer who will not be there is Ariana Grande. She had originally planned to perform her latest single, 7 Rings, but she had creative differences with the producer and decided to boycott the Grammys altogether. The Grammys will be on at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. That's the latest in entertainment. Back to you girls in the studio.
It's becoming the most used form of communication. Indeed, there are literally no words for it. New emojis are on the way to enhance casual text conversations, and a horse in Colorado finds itself in some icy waters. Quite literally. Jeremy Roth has more.
Good news, emoji users. You'll soon have more options than ever to dress up those text messages. More than 50 new emoji will be available starting in March. That's according to a final list from the Unicode Consortium, which is like the governing body over all things emoji. Many of the new images showing service animals, prosthetic limbs, and people with disabilities focus on inclusivity. Additionally, users will now be able to select the skin color and gender for couple emoji. There are also plenty of random silly images like sloths, waffles, coconuts, juice boxes, swimsuits, and underwear. Watch Colorado emergency responders get creative while rescuing a horse from an icy pond. The 25-year-old horse had wandered from her home and was found collapsed on the ice. Normally, rescue crews would use a sled, but they were unable to get it under the horse, so responders had to improvise, wrapping a fire hose around the animal and pulling it to safety. Once it was on the shore, the horse was able to stand under its own power. The horse's owners praised rescuers, who say improvising is part of the job.
We don't have the answer to everything, but we train for what we do know, and then when the what-ifs happen, you're able to adapt and improvise on that.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Well, that brings us to the end of our show. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to follow us on social media, and we will see you next week.
Thank you so much for having us. Please stay tuned.